Hello, I'm Ellie. I'm going to talk about something that nobody wants to talk about, but it's really important that we open ourselves up to really take a look at ourselves, because this is really where we can come and step into our power, where we can move forward, transform. And something that no one really wants to look at or talk about is the fear that women have of men. So this is very controversial, so let's settle in. So all women, whether we are conscious of it or unconscious of it, whether it's a slow hum in the background or it's really in our face energetically, we can feel it in our body, we feel fear towards men. And it's interesting because I'm doing a lot of shadow work and I'm reflecting, I'm going deep on this subject. I have been for a while, and I realized many things. One thing is that it's so strange, isn't it paradoxical, that women, what we're afraid of in men, that they can dominate over us, that they're physically stronger than us, vast majority of the time, that they're powerful, right? That's what we fear, and also what we're so attracted to. And here's some beautiful medicine in this whole subject. Fear. Women fear men. We can pivot as women. We can accept first. If we don't accept all of us. So part of the spiritual path is to come into a state of wholeness. Man or woman is to come to meet ourselves in love, to see all parts of ourselves and accept and love all parts of ourselves. And this part of us women is something that we need to accept, our own fear of men, and men need to accept of women. This is what's going to help us come into a state of wholeness and begin to work together in harmony. And it's very complicated because the fear in women towards men evokes shame in men. So we're going to get into that. So while I was doing shadow work, facing this part of myself, I was really going deep, and I felt this incredible, uncomfortable feeling of fear in my body. And I was feeling and aware that I feel like a small, weak woman in that moment. That's not how I feel all the time. So this is a shadow part of me that's affecting our shadow parts that we're not aware of. They're not up in the forefront all the time. You know, if they're shadow parts, we're not even aware of them. So this is a kind of shadow that I'm aware of, but it slips back into shadow because I don't want to look at it. So that's also what can happen with shadow work. So as I'm pulling it up and I'm actually looking at it, okay, I feel like weak woman. I feel like I'm afraid because when I'm in partnership with a man, if he wants to, he could dominate me, and that scares me. And so I'm fighting it. And this is what women do. We fight this. We don't want to feel fear towards men. We don't want to feel weak. Women have been fighting for so long to prove that we're not weak. So for women to accept this part of ourselves, that we actually do fear men, that we do feel fear in the fact that our physical bodies, men have more muscle mass, no matter what the size is. It's hard for us as women to look at this part of ourselves. Look at it. Never mind, love it, which is what we're being called to do. So the moment I did that, I'm in the shadow work, I'm feeling it, I'm fighting it, I realize what I'm doing. Awareness comes in. And then I decide to accept it through my feminine practice of surrender. I just accept. I accept that this is how I'm feeling. I accepted the fear. I accepted that there's a part of me that feels weak, that is in fear of men. And then I decided to love that part of myself. And I can just feel my body start to relax. I can feel things shifting and changing in me. And this is what we're being called to do as women, is to accept who we are. Accept that actually there are parts of us that are weak, and that's okay. And we don't always have to be, just like men don't always have to be strong. We don't have to be anything. We just have to be what we are, who we are, and accept that and love that part of ourselves. So it's interesting because in relationships, men and women respond pretty differently to this. So the fear of a woman, she has fear of men. So whether she is hiding this part of herself because she's ashamed of it, she doesn't want it to be there, or she outright tells the man that she's with that she has this fear, this will invoke in the man shame. Shame for his own power, shame for his masculinity, shame for his sexuality, for his desire, shame for maybe anything that any man has ever done, ancestors included. Men carry a lot of guilt and shame for being a man, just like women carry a lot of shame and guilt just for being a woman. So it's something we share, but it's interesting because this dynamic where the woman is actually experiencing something that is normal. So for a woman to feel fear somatically in the body or in the mind, wherever, is normal based on her life experiences, based on statistics, based on what she sees on the news, based on her DNA from her ancestors. And so if a man can know that and not take it personal and love that part of the woman, love her right where she's at, love her in her fear, not take it personally. And the woman can also do that. The woman can love herself in her fear, can accept parts of her that are weak. And of course, women, I just made a whole video about how powerful we are. We're very powerful. So there's duality here. Yes, we're powerful in some ways, and in other ways we're weaker. So this man can provide a safe healing space for her. This is the space that the woman actually needs to fully heal, fully heal. So we can do a lot of healing on our own. We can make that pivot from being in fear of a man's power to being in awe of his power. Oh, okay, yes. The thing I fear so much is actually what I'm so attracted to in a man. So you just make these pivots as long as you're with a safe man. And if you do that and you love that part of yourself who is afraid, who does feel weak, who is less physically strong than your partner, for example, you love that and he loves that, and then you don't take any shame that he's experiencing personal, and we just decide to accept each other and meet each other and love each other where we are at. This is how we transform relationships from this endless cycle of pain and you hurt me so I hurt you. We are so powerful when we are willing to take a hard look at ourselves and also to be open and to love through anything. So yeah, this is a big topic, and I understand why people don't want to talk about it. It's very uncomfortable. It's very uncomfortable. It evokes shame in both men and women. So I get it, but we can actually remain here stuck in this place and nothing changes and we just keep avoiding things, or we decide to actually take a look at it, take a look at what is happening here and how we move past it, how we liberate love. Because being in a state of fear is not our natural way of being. This is a result of history, a result of how we've interacted with each other in the past for a very long time. And we are being called now to break these cycles of pain, break these patterns, and create new paradigms of interacting with each other, new ways to love. And part of that is accepting who we are, accepting women that we have fear for men towards men, that we feel weak sometimes. That's okay. There are parts of us that are so strong and parts of us that feel weak. When we can accept and love that part in ourselves, we can, as women, love ourselves enough to move towards relationships that are safe. And then a man can honor this delicate part of the woman and not make her feel shame for her experience. We're in a beautiful dance now. So beautiful. So let me know if you want to talk more about this subject. It's a really, really deep, taboo subject, but I am very willing to keep talking about it. So if you like this video, like and support me by subscribing, and I will love to connect with you soon. Thank you.